We ready?
Go ahead.
Kevin Blanch here. Post-ignorance. We're here for the Queen, Hillary Clinton. She's actually in New York to break through her class thing, but Clintongrad, Putingrad, Stalingrad, the monarchy has never been so strong. So, Hillary, cousin Hillary, who you drawn first? So, this Dog and Pony Show, we're here on this historic day at this historic place, and I'm at the greatest place in the world, the longest standing peace memorial activist that Thomas started, and then Concepcion and Filippo, we kept it going. Been here for 2 days. Jesse Ventura spent a couple days with us. We've had a lot of people protesting with us, but I want to be here for this historic time, the concentration of wealth. I mean, let's get real. This is not New World Order. It's as old as Babylon and evil hell. This is a monarchy. Please. And, let's think about this. Okay, Stalingrad, Leningrad, Putingrad. I mean, Putin, come on. If you don't think he's a czar, you are a fool. He's worth $60 billion. He built this new palace in the shape of the side. And Donald Trump is him and Hillary trace back to Jonah Bonaparte. Let's get real. The concentration of wealth right now in this country, in this world for that matter, but especially this country, is more concentrated to a small group of so-called, I love how you call them elites. They love that shit. I like how you call them Illuminati. They're magic, so I like how you call it New World Order when it's old as Babylon and evil as hell. It's a monarchy. So the concentration to the very tip of the 1% is even more concentrated than it was in the neo-feudalized system. Remember when one family ruled the world, the cousins in Russia, freaking in Europe, 1916? So, same old Samo, the monarchy's back. It's never been so strong. So I want to tell you guys this. This is important. A lot of people don't know this. They don't start building the stage for the parade until after Thanksgiving. They started early this year. They're spending 4.5 times more, from what I hear, $4.5 million. Why? Because this is not your typical inauguration. What do they call that? That's called a coronation. They're crowning, and this is, I'm not pro-Trump, I'm not here. This deal was fixed a long time ago. This game is so rigged, this country's rigged. 90% unapproval of Congress, yet this country's going to re-elect 90% of their congressmen because these people don't even know who their congressman is. Ignorance took the field because they're overworked, they're underpaying. They're all chasing, hey, Cinderella, you're going to marry Prince. Now you keep playing with that ball, you're going to be the next King James. You're going to play in the NBA. You're going to win the lottery. You're going to come to New York and be a celebrity lobbyist. You're going to be a celebrity politician like Barry Antoinette, Barack Obama. Remember that Hopi change stuff for him? What was his accomplishment? Status quo? Oh, cover up Fukushima. So I want to talk to Filippo, and he could talk a little bit about the long-term peace memorial. We need to, help this out, and we need to make sure that it goes on now that Thomas and Concepcion, because, it's 24/7 since 1981. So, get a shot of the whole thing and then we'll come over. Just talk, say whatever you want. Talk about history and...
Excuse me, sir.
Peace be with you. How do you do? Peace. Protest for world peace against nuclear and atomic weapons, against human rights violations. It's the longest lasting protest in North American history, single location protest, always here in Lafayette Park. Sometimes we are closer, but however, at the time they are building the bleachers for the coronation of the world's queen. So we've been pushed back actually 4 weeks earlier than usual, usually not until the first, the Monday after Thanksgiving, but they actually had us start moving on October 31st, so very early this year. We also stand up against the gross amount of military budget. So the military-industrial complex and the budgeting of the nuclear portion of that military-industrial complex. That always takes away from our seniors, our students, our infrastructure, on things that we can do for our own local homeless, or at least homeless throughout the United States, our own projects. 57 cents out of every dollar that is spent federally is spent on our military, and that means 43 cents are spread out between the other 2,138 other federal programs. So that many programs split the 43 cents that's allocated for federal programming, and military alone gets 57%. And some people will look that up and say, "Oh no, it's not correct." It is correct.
Worked out nice for the Soviets, right?
Right. And what we have is we also count anybody that has a military industrial complex budget that's not an active member of the military, but some of the budget is being spent on production of bombs, retrofitting of airplanes to carry weaponry, and the many things that go into running the military. It's not only about paying the guys in that budget. The amount of money that goes into the Veterans Administration. Maybe even some of the money should be reorganized within the money that goes to the military, because I'm not anti our veterans. I don't want to see these guys freeze on the streets. I don't want them to commit
Talk
suicide.
a little bit, Filippo, about how Concepcion's died and Thomas, and we both knew him, and you're his godson, and how many hours you put in here. This is 24/7. I want people to know this has been since '81, and we both known him. He's Thomas's son, and giving Thomas his full name, and we need to pay respect to him and keep this going. How many hours you put in?
William Thomas Hellenbeck. So when he was here, before anybody else came out and started helping him, he literally was doing 24 hours. Yeah, he might get 2 20-minute breaks by asking a passerby. He'd ask like 15 of them, hoping to get one that said that they would sit here and help him so that he could just go and use the restroom and buy a little food. So he literally was here 24-hour responsibility on doing the vigil. In '81, there's myself, there's Joe Brown, there's Lou Wolf, there is other local activists that helped them as often as they came through. Some of them helped them for shifts of 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours. Eventually I did some overnights for him. That's all still 1981. When I was in town, I was very willing to help him out. Concepcion Picciotto, late '82, December '82, maybe January of '83. She finally came down from New York. He met her, and she listened to him 3, 4 times and she was willing to start helping him out. And she helped him out daytimes. Some of the hours they were here together, he did overnights and also parts of the day as well. So they finally had someone that could solidly help him get some daylight time off too. But a lot of the nighttime was covered by young activists, and we keep rolling since then. But Concepcion Picciotto also is a very, very vital person who helped us a minimum of 32 years here helping out.
She's recently passed, and so
right.
The point is, what we want to know is, look, this is 24/7 vigil, 24/7. We have people in there. This is hard. We need the young activists to come get involved. We need them to show up and talk. He's here. I mean, he's a brilliant guy. He speaks multiple languages, whatever. He can tell you the history in the past. We need activists to come start sharing in this, because this is about the bomb, the whole nuclear military industrialized complex, and we know it's all about, the nuclear energy, everything. So the young activists, we need you. We need you, to start helping out. He's putting in so many hours. It's incredible. And he does it for free. There's no money involved here. He gets a teeny few donations, but in respect of Thomas and Filippo and Concepcion, I do what I do, and I come in symphony with them. I travel the world and call attention to nuclear energy. With nuclear bombs are nuclear energy, and this is important because I knew Thomas and I knew the activists there. Don't ever tell me that this is all about just nuclear bombs and not nuclear energy. That's total bullshit. Total bullshit. This whole anti-nuclear activism in the 70s and the 80s was totally against nuclear. He was so hardcore against nuclear energy, it was unbelievable. They're the same thing. So it's the exact identical fight. So get involved. We'll give you the report from Clintongrad. And this is great. Now go ahead and say your information. The guy holding the camera, he's a vlogger and blogger from DC. Put a plug in for yourself.
I'm DC Fred on YouTube.
Thank you. Stay tuned.